In this video, we're going to learn how to use jQuery UI to make HTML elements selectable. What we're going to be doing exactly, we're going to create a list inside the Apple div, and then we will make the list items selectable. So they can be selected either individually or we can select them as a group. And then later on, we will write some code so that once we select a specific item of the list, we can see that item added to the Microsoft div. Okay. So let's first of all, let's create a list inside the Apple div. So we'll get rid of the paragraph and we will replace it using an unordered list. Let's have some list items in there. So you're going to go for car makes, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, for example. Okay. So we're going to be styling these list items using a jQuery UI class. So we're going to go for the UI state defaults. So UI state defaults class. And let's do that for all the list items. Okay, and also let's give the list an ID. Let's call it list. Okay. Now let's add some styling of the list items. So let's change the font size to 2 EM and okay, let's add some margin bottom. Let's add 5 pixels, for example. Okay. And also let's change the styling of the Apple div so that the height is auto. Okay, that looks better. And also let's add some padding so that we have some space between the last item and the border of the div. So padding 10 pixels. Okay, that looks good. Okay, let's make the text aligned in the center. So let's use the text align property and set it to center. Okay, that looks good. All right, now we're gonna make the list selectable. So to do that, we will select the list using its ID, which is list, and then we'll use a method, it's selectable. So if we refresh now, the list items are going to be selectable, but we cannot see any change because we need to style the list items when they are selected and also when they are being selected. Okay, so let's go to our styling and style the items that are being selected. So we need to style, so first of all we need to access the list using its ID, and we are styling the list items of class UI selecting, which means that they are being selected. Okay, what we're going to do, we'll change the background color of the list item. We cannot use the background color property for list items, we use background. And let's set that to this color, for example. And let's do the same thing for the items that are selected. Okay, and we can see it's already changed because that one was selected. And let's change the background color to something like that. And also let's change the color of text to white. That looks good. Okay, so now if we select an item, we can see that while it's being selected, it changes. And also once it's selected, we can see the styling. All right. Okay. Now the next challenge is to write some code so that once we select an item, we see the item value being added to the Microsoft div. So if we select Audi, for instance, we want to see a line here with Audi appearing in the Microsoft div, and also if we do this, if we select another item, another line, and so on. We can select items either individually or as a group. So when we select them as a group, we want to see the whole group being shown in the Microsoft div as well. Okay, so how to do this? We're going to need to use an option inside the selectable method. So first we need curly brackets, and our option is going to go inside the curly brackets. So the option we're going to be using here is stop. Basically, what it means is once the selecting activity stops, we're going to be executing some code. Okay, and so this option will take a function, and we're going to be writing the code to execute inside the curly brackets of the function. Okay, just bear in mind that we don't have any semicolon after the function, and also if we need to add another option, as we have seen earlier, we can use a comma to add another option. Alright, so first we need to run a specific piece of code for each item that is selected. Okay, because if we select 3 items, we need first to add the value of Audi, then add another line with the value of BMW, and then another line with the value of Mercedes. Okay, so we need to run a certain piece of code for each item that is selected. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select, okay, all the items that are selected. So we're gonna be using the class UI selected, and then we will run a piece of code for each of them, and that's why we're gonna use a method called each. So how to use this method? Inside this method, we will write a function that we need to execute for each of those elements. Okay, so we will define the function inside, and what we're going to be doing every time, we will create a paragraph. So if we select Audi, we want to have the value or the text, which is Audi, put it in a paragraph and then add it to the Microsoft div, or append it to the Microsoft div. Okay, so we're going to create an empty paragraph, right? And we need to change the text of this paragraph, or set it to something. And the text we need to put inside the paragraph is the text of the selected item. So we need to access the selected item first using the keyword this, and we need to get its text. Okay, so that goes as the parameter of a text that will be put inside the empty paragraph. And then we need to add this to the Microsoft div. So we're going to use another method, it's append to. Okay, so we need to append it to the Microsoft div using its ID. Okay, so we're going to put the ID of the Microsoft div inside the parameter of the method append to. All right. Okay, so let's try, make sure it's working. So if we click on Audi, we can see Audi appearing there, Mercedes, and if we select 3, you can see all 3 of them showing in the Microsoft div. We can change the styling of the Microsoft div so that the height is auto, so that it looks better. Now we can see that it is working. Okay, that's how we make elements selectable, and also how we can run some code once a certain element is selected.